I think we're getting to that age where we have to work on our sleep, right? Like actively work on sleeping better.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing before. You just sleep.
I know. It was great.
Yeah. What are the things that you've tried? How do you get better sleep?
For me, it's always been like getting enough sleep.
Oh, okay.
So like that
That
I guess
itself is already a big goal.
Yeah, I guess getting a good pattern in place so that I can fall asleep relatively early and wake up relatively early and have enough time. I have seen, have you seen those? They're like clocks, but they look like the sun.
Yes.
And yeah, so
yes.
I've seen those.
Yes.
I haven't tried it ever.
I have. It works.
Oh, it does.
It does work.
Oh.
Yeah. I've actually tried a lot of different things to improve sleep because I know
Really?
sleep is so important. It's good for your health. It's good for your skin care.
Everything.
It's good for your rest to create that energy for you.
Yes.
Right? So I've actively, scientifically tried so many things, right? So
Really?
the light is important.
Okay.
Sound is important. Lotioning up before you sleep is important. We're in California. I mean, it's dry, but I've tested, lotion or no lotion, lotion or no lotion. Having good lotion before you go to sleep is very helpful for me.
Interesting.
Having showered or bathed the night, like right before you want to sleep, getting your body temperature right is important. But on top of all of these things, I think the biggest thing is to just stop yourself from pushing early, right? So a lot of times we work until we just fall asleep, and then sometimes we lay there just stressed out. It's like, did I shower? Did I put on lotion?
Right.
You're trying all these things, right? And then you just got into an argument with somebody. It's just terrible. But if you're able to just end, for me, it's like at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. That's when I stop. I know there might be other things I have to do, but that's when I stop. That's when I start doing my routine, the shower, the walk, and just kind of slowly relax, right? Stop going on my phone, right? Stop just doing anything that's too stimulating and just kind of start resting. But again, that's how my body is built. I know people who are like night owls that they get do all their creative writing at night. So if you sleep at 10, that's just not going to happen.
Right.
And for those people, I realized the 2-hour naps in the afternoon is really important. So maybe that is their ratio, right? But for me, I hate naps, right? I like to wake up in the morning, go full throttle all the way to the end of the day, and then kind of just burn out and then recharge.
Yeah.
But for other people, they just like to take that 2-hour naps in the afternoon, and it's perfect for them. So to each their own.
Yeah.
Are you a procrastinator, Jane?
Totally.
You are?
Totally.
Are there things that you just don't want to do?
Most things.
Most things. How do you drag yourself and end up doing it? Like, how do you get to do? Because we all have those.
I just end up feeling so bad about myself that at some point, the weight of how terrible I feel is more than the burden of doing the thing.
And then you
and
just
I cave.
end up doing
And I
it.
cave.
You cave.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've learned is to use this method where no matter how bad you don't want to do it, block it out in 20 to 25 minutes. Like, okay, I'm only going to work on this thing for 20 to 25 minutes. Not distracted, and just focus in on it. And then after the 20, 25 minutes, you stop and you rest for 5 minutes, right? You give yourself that luxury of breather time, and then you go back and do it for another 20 to 25 minutes. And then that's it. And then the cycle repeats later on, next week or something like that. But if there's something that you just have to do, at least you control it. Like, because sometimes you just feel like that thing is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
But many times if you tackle it for 20 minutes, half of the pressure is gone. People who are confident, typically they are vulnerable. They are okay to be vulnerable. They don't have an ego. They're not trying to protect themselves. They know their self-worth. They're able to be vulnerable, and therefore they proceed and do things confidently. So for example, you're in a situation, a problem occurs. There's a room full of people. The confident person will say, well, let me take a stab at it. Let me try to solve this problem. Whether or not they fail, it doesn't matter. They're just trying. They're just attacking the problem. They're trying to solve it. They're just being who they are. insecure people, they wouldn't dare do that because they're afraid if they fail, people would judge them. See, it's a vulnerability, it's an ego issue.
Yeah.
So confidence is not tied to skill set, it's not tied to your achievements, it's not tied to any of that. It's just tied to, do you know your self-worth? And if you fail, is it okay or not okay?
When I see insecurity in other people, it's like they think that they have to hide. You think that you being honest would somehow not be good enough, you know?
Right.
And so that's why you have to like compensate or like come off, try to make something that you're not, that you think people will like better. I think so often it's, at least that I've seen, it's like, you know, the only thing we're looking for is like you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of it.
Right.
But that must be hard to cultivate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And working with so many exceptional people with my clients, one of the things that they say they love is when people just say, I don't know. It's so painful when you try to make things up and you're trying to feign it, right?
Yeah.
It's okay just to say, you know what, I don't know about that. I'll research it and I'll get back to you. It's okay to say not my feeling. This is what I would do. This is the best that I have to offer, and just explain. And you don't have to be perfect, but you know, the client is picking a team of professionals to help them accomplish a goal. They don't expect each person to do everything. So if you just show them what you know and what you don't know, and you're vulnerable and you're confident to say, you know, I don't know that. I'm confident in what I'm able to do, and this is what I can do. They love that. It's much less about the accomplishments, but it's much more about, you know what, I'm imperfect. It's okay. Let me just try.
Yeah.
Maybe I am good enough. I don't know, but we wouldn't know until I try.
So I would love to know if there's a better way to decide what of my money goes where. I'm thinking about the present, I'm thinking about, 6 months from now, I'm thinking about my retirement, and I'm thinking I want to make it to retirement, and I'd like to have something left, but I also have my rent due this month, and I have my health insurance, and it'd be nice to get sushi. Sometimes I do feel like any decision is almost like I got a B, like you're fine, but not great.
Right.
And I wish I could learn to allocate my money in a way that I was convinced, like, here's the best way to do this.
So short-term financial goals and long-term financial goals, right? You have a limited pool. How do you invest in which pocket, and what are the investment vehicles?
Yeah.
I've gone through this so many discussions with financial advisors and clients and myself, and I realize that it's always changing, and that should be the thing that you realize, that there is no one right way, because your life changes. You are a human being. There's things that's going to happen that you didn't expect. Maybe a family member is going to fall ill. Maybe your lifespan is going to be cut short. You don't know what that end result is.
Right.
And how you feel. Maybe you're frugal now, but you don't want to be frugal 2 months from now, and then you want to be frugal again. So you are an ever-changing person. Your life happens. As long as you know the different short-term vehicles for your finances, and you know the different long-term vehicles, and then find out a path to manage that in every stage of your life. It's a moving target. It's not one formula that you stick with, and that is the A, because you are changing. What is A for you 2 years ago might be an F now. As long as you know what's there and you're doing it, there is no right and wrong. Maybe in your stage in life, you find joy being super frugal and seeing your 401k grow. That's wonderful. That's great, right? The future you will be thankful.
Yeah.
But maybe the future you will also be upset at you for just staying in your 20s, in your prime, locked up in your apartment and just eating a tuna sandwich every day.
Right.
Like, why didn't you go out and explore when you had the time? Now you have 5 kids and you are 100 pounds heavier. like you can't go out now, right? Why didn't you? You see what I'm saying?
Totally.
Life changes.
Yeah.
So it's okay. And I think that's what the experts are trying to sell you. They know so much more. You don't. And so everything you say, it's wrong in a certain way. So let them manage it for you.
Interesting.
I feel like that's the game that they're in. Don't worry about it. Know the different vehicles. Obviously, don't get into credit card debt. There's some financial things that everybody should do.
Yeah.
But whether or not you should put in, save a certain amount in a CD first, whether you should save it in an HSA if you qualify, whether you should do a 529 for your kid, or a 401k, or put it and maximize your Roth, company matching. You know, I mean, you are a smart person. Trust your instinct and do what makes sense. And then revise it every 6 months, every year. It's okay to revise. It's better to revise. So don't worry, you're doing fine. You're doing great.
Thanks, Joseph.
Yeah. You're getting an A no matter what.
Aw,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah.
Just keep on learning, right? Sometimes it does make sense to buy life insurance. Sometimes it does make sense to put it in a 529 if you have that discretionary income, right? But again, maybe it's much more worth it to go explore the world because you educate and you pour into yourself. The thing is, nobody knows what the future holds, right? You don't know what your experience will take you. So there is no right answer. So get rid of that.
Okay.
Maybe, you know, you are fine. You're gonna do just fine.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And that's it for season 4, episode 2. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.